rent money. Then they go around begging to try to get enough money to pay the rent. When they had it, and they lost it to the casino. How many people know of somebody in their family who struggles at casinos? Come on. Church, I'm telling you what, I get so frustrated. Listen, there's lots of faith out in this world. The apostles had faith in Jesus, and he multiplied sustenance. He multiplied what they needed. They needed a meal. They needed to be filled. And he fed them, and he healed them. And we as a church need to have faith in what God can do. Listen, this is not just a story. This is the reality of what a man who walked this earth, called Jesus, who had God within him, did in the multitudes. And there was probably 30,000 witnesses, because they filled 12 baskets of the leftovers. Way more than what they started with. And everybody got a full belly. Listen, there's lots of false faith. People have faith in money. They have faith in casinos. They have faith in drugs and alcohol. They have faith in all kinds of things. What I'm asking you to do is to have faith in God. Having faith in Jesus. And having faith in his word. This is a simple story. This is not difficult. This is easy. But it's a story that some of us didn't know. And I'm blessed to be able to teach that to you. 12 baskets of leftovers after 30,000 or so have eaten. That's the kind of God we have. That's what God's able to do. That's what God's capable of. Now you ask, well, wait a minute, Pastor. All over in the southern Latin American countries and all these places and in Africa, and people are starving to death. That's true. But that's not because God can't fill them. That's not God's fault. Let me tell you why there is so much poverty. It's because of man's greed. We have the ability in America and in this world to create and generate enough food to feed everybody on the planet forever. We have the technology and we have the ability. You know why it doesn't get done? It's not because God doesn't want to feed them. Because of man's self-will. To say that I'm going to send a big corporation into a third world country, deplete their resources, lend them a bunch of money, and when they can't pay it back, that's how we get a hold of their resources. And then we leave them impoverished and broke. And we take all the money and all the resources. You know, anybody heard of big business? Billionaire corporations who are doing all kinds of pollution. They don't care. It's man's greed that is making it so that we can't. Listen, if it was a profit for us to feed all the people in the world that were starving, then we would do it, and we would make money doing it. But there's no profit in creating food with the technology we have and just giving it away. There's no profit in that. So we're not going to do it. We're just going to let people starve. That's the kind of culture that we live in. How can I say that and not be a liar or be true about it? Well, look up the statistics on your third world countries. They're starving to death. And we have the ability and technology to feed them, and we won't. You know, I feel bad. I'm telling you. Listen, church, we need to be grateful. I'm still on faith here, but I want you to, we need to be grateful. Do you know that every time I turn on my faucet in my house, I feel like I'm a king? I really do. I feel like I am the wealthiest man on the planet. I feel just so rich that all I have to do when I want water is to go to a machine, pull a lever, and I get all right in my own room. I don't have to march and carry anything on my head. I don't have to go to anywhere and extract this water. I just touch a button. I can go as far as going to my refrigerator and pushing a button, ice comes out, push another button, water comes out. Do you know if you did that, a little black kid in Africa would be like, can I do that? That's cool. Can I get a glass? I want to fill my cup. Can I push the button? Go ahead. You think I'm kidding? You bring a little kid from Africa into your house who is impoverished, living, who has to travel with gut skins full of water to walk 5 miles just to go get water, and they only have a limited amount. You know what? I actually feel bad when I pour out water down the drain. It's bad. If I have like a thing of water and I want to, like one of my big jugs of water, and I want to put something else in it, and I go outside and I pour it in a dog bowl. Or I go find a plant and put it in a plant. Because I feel bad pouring this water down the drain. Because I'm grateful of what I have. I understand, compared to others in other places, what I have. The kind of thing. We can open a box, put something in, push a button, ding, open up. It's like the Jetsons for these people. They're like, what? Just touch a button and your food's hot? I don't have to make a fire. I don't gather firewood. Just open a box, put it in, touch a button, pull it out. And we take these things for granted every day. That's one of the things that keeps me so happy. That's why I'm always smiling. I'm like, I feel like a king, man. I open my faucet, water comes out. Now the normal person would say, dude, what's wrong with you? I understand this world. I understand where other people are in this world. I can go to the fridge. I preached a message before. It was so funny. If you go to Walmart, you brought one of these kids in. I'm sure if they, the African exchange students come in, and they go to these places and they learn about our culture, and these people have to go out and find food. There's no food. There's just bags of grain. They're lucky if they get some mush, just to give them some sustenance, let alone something that tastes good. The kind of, we can go and eat any time of the day, 24 hours a day. We can drive someplace and get something to eat like that. And have a variety of choices of flavorful foods. We can go to Walmart and there's aisles and aisles of food, and they're preserved, and we can just go. Can you imagine one of these little kids going back at home and telling their family, I went to Walmart, a wonderful place. You go down and all you see is aisles and aisles of food. And you don't even have to cook. You open and eat. Do you know how fortunate we are? If we look at our lives in the eyes of people who are less fortunate, we should find ourselves a lot more grateful. People who don't have I'm telling you, when people come to me, people don't always like to come to me when there are problems, because I'll ask them, well, let me ask you this. You got a place to lay your head tonight when you go to sleep? Yeah. Have you eaten today? Twice. Okay. Is there a roof over your head to protect you from the elements? Of course. Yeah. They don't realize how far ahead they are in life from so many millions of people who don't have those very simple things. We are spoiled. And we live in the greatest country in the world. I mean, we live in America, dude. We live, and I'm not, I don't always like the politics that go on. And I know there's a lot of shady stuff going on within power. But we still live in the greatest country in the world. And we should be so grateful. A lot of the mountains that we make into molehills, or the molehills we make into mountains, you made a mountain out of a molehill. That's right. The molehills that we have, that we make into mountains, when you look at life in a different way, and having faith in God, that He is going to take care of things. I'm having to do that right now. I mean, we just got through a month where we were gone for several services, and I told my wife, she asked me, are you doing okay? You're going through a lot, and these people are, I told you, I got a bullseye on me, and I get these texts and attacks all the time, and people trying to cause trouble, and she goes, are you doing all right? And I said, I'm fine. I ain't worried about that. I'm worried about the mortgage. As long as the mortgage gets paid, I'm all right. All the other stuff God's going to handle.